Yes, welcome to online discussion on Criminal Procedure Code. On the other day, we discussed the provisions of Section 82 and 83. What Section 82 says? 82 consists of two parts. First, proclamation of person absconding and also to declare somebody as a proclaimed offender. Proclaimed person and proclaimed offender are two different persons. Proclaimed person means what? As per section 82(1), a person is declared as proclaimed person. But as per section 82 subsection 4, proclaimed person is declared as proclaimed offender. How? When, if any court has reason to believe, what reason? To believe whether after taking evidence or before taking evidence, that any person against whom a warrant has been issued, first warrant has been issued against a person and is absconding or concealing himself so that the warrant cannot be executed. In such case, the court may issue a proclamation in writing requiring that person to appear before the court at a particular place or at a particular time. Then how that proclamation is to be published? Subsection 2 provides, once proclamation is issued by the court ordering a person to appear before the court on a particular date or at a particular place or time, then such proclamation is to be published. First, due to public read, publicly that will be read in a conspicuous part of the town or village where that person was ordinarily residing, ordinarily resides. Ordinary, first that will be read. That proclamation will be read. How it is to be read? Such and such person is avoiding arrest, he is concealing his presence, concealing so that the warrant issued against him cannot be executed. So hereby he is informed to appear before the court on a particular date at particular time. That is first public read. Second, the copy of that proclamation will be affixed in some conspicuous part of the house where he was ordinarily residing, or some conspicuous place of such town or village. Second, third, the copy of such proclamation will be affixed in the conspicuous part of the courthouse, that is court notice board. The court may, in addition to above three modes, as required by the law, the court may also issue a proclamation by a newspaper, daily newspaper, which is widely circulated, not widely circulated in the town or village where he was last residing, person ordinarily residing. So if a court records a statement in writing that such a proclamation was made as per the provisions and duly published, a court records a statement such a proclamation has been duly published, that will be treated as conclusive evidence because no further evidence will be taken to prove that such a proclamation has not been duly made. Once a statement has been made by the court in writing, in the order sheet it has been mentioned that such proclamation has been duly issued, that will be treated as conclusive evidence that it has been duly complied, as per such a proclamation has been duly published. Now, subsection 4 is very important. Once a proclamation has been issued against a person requiring him to appear before a court, against whom a warrant has been issued, but in spite of that, he did not appear before the court. And if he is involved, if he is an accused for the offences under section 302, 304, that is murder, 304, 364, 395, Dakayati, all heinous crimes. In such case, the court First, if such a person fails to appear, the court, after making further inquiry, if any requires, pronounce that he is a proclaimed offender. And thereafter, a declaration, make a declaration to that effect, that such a person is hereby declared as a proclaimed offender. Once a person is declared as a proclaimed offender, any police throughout India can arrest that proclaimed offender without warrant. That is proclaimed offender. But a person who is a proclaimed person, he cannot be arrested by police in any part of anywhere in India. But once he is declared as a proclaimed offender, as per section 41, he can be arrested. That the police can arrest. Police may arrest him without warrant. Now, this subsection 5 says, once a person is pronounced as a proclaimed offender and is declared as a proclaimed offender, then similar procedure for publication of that proclamation declaring somebody as proclaimed offender is to be made. That is to be publicly read in the town or village where the proclaimed offender ordinarily resides. The copy of that declaring somebody as a proclaimed offender will be affixed in a conspicuous part of the house where that proclaimed offender was ordinarily residing, or a copy of that statement that somebody was declared as a proclaimed offender will be affixed in a conspicuous part of the town or place where that person, proclaimed offender, was residing. The copy of that declaring somebody proclaimed offender will also be affixed in some conspicuous part of the courthouse. Third, the court may also, in addition to this, also direct that the notice that the publication may be made in a Delhi newspaper where that proclaimed offender was ordinarily residing. Now, section 83 is an attachment. Attachment of property. A person absconding. So, this is first when a person against whom a proclamation has been made, proclamation has been made, requiring him to appear before the court, and the court is satisfied. Under section, may the court for reason to be recorded. The court issuing a proclamation, the court which has issued a proclamation under section 82, may for reason to be recorded in writing. Reason must be recorded in writing at any time after the issue of proclamation. Once a proclamation has been made, at any time after the proclamation, or the attachment of any property, either of movable or immovable, or both belonging to the proclaimed person. First, once a proclamation has been made against a person, and the court for reason to be recorded in writing at any time after the issue of such proclamation, order that the property, either movable or immovable property of such person, will be attached. Attachment what? That court will pass, and once an order of attachment is passed, that person, the person whose property is attached, he cannot deal that property. He cannot alienate that property. He cannot create either sale, mortgage, etc. that property. That is the order of attachment. When of order of attachment, first a proclamation has been made, and after that the court has some reason that the person who is not appearing before the court, then in such case the court may also direct for attachment of the property of that proclaimed person. Now, provided that where at the time, even at the time of issue of proclamation, the court may, if it is satisfied, court is satisfied by affidavit or otherwise, simultaneously at the time of issuing proclamation, the court may also order for attachment of the property. When the court is satisfied by affidavit or otherwise, that the person in relation to whom the proclamation is to be issued, that the person in respect of whom there will be a proclamation, he is about to dispose of the whole or any part of his property first. General rule is that attachment order will be made only after there is proclamation. But proviso provides, that is a proviso provided, that is a provision that at the time of issue of proclamation, the court may also order for attachment of the property of the proclaimed person when? First, when the court is satisfied by affidavit or otherwise that the person who is to be declared as proclaimed person is about to dispose of his either whole or any part of the property. Second, is about to remove the whole or any part of the property from the jurisdiction of the court. Third, is about to remove the whole or any part of his property from the local jurisdiction of the court. That's a second. This second, at the time of issuing proclamation, the court may simultaneously issuing proclamation may order for attachment of property of the accused, of the person who is to be arrested, when the court is satisfied by affidavit or otherwise that the person is about to dispose of his entire property or part of his property, or he is about to remove his whole or any part of the property from the jurisdiction of the court. Then in such case, in two circumstances, in either case, if the court may order the attachment of this property of that proclaimed person simultaneously issuing proclamation. So if a question comes, can the court, if the court is authorized to attach the issue or order of attachment of the property of the absconded person while issuing proclamation? The answer is yes. If the court is satisfied by affidavit or otherwise that the person against whom the order of proclamation will be issued is about to dispose of his whole or part of the property, or is about to remove the whole or any part of the property from the local jurisdiction of the court, then the court may simultaneously while issuing proclamation also issue order for attachment of both movable and immovable property of that person. Then such order is attachment order is made. Such order shall authorize the attachment of any property belonging to such person within the district in which it is made. First, suppose the SDGM Cuttack passes an order of attachment, or a judicial magistrate first class Cuttack passes an order of attachment. So such property of that proclaimed person situated in the district, in the Cuttack district, may be attached. But if the property is outside the district, suppose that property is in Bhubaneswar, that is in the district of Khordha, in such case, the endorsement of the district magistrate of Khordha is required. That the law says. And it shall authorize the attachment in property belonging to such person without such district, when endorsed by the district magistrate. If the district magistrate, if the property to be attached beyond the district where the court is situated, then that is to be endorsed by the district magistrate of that district, in whose district the property is situated. Now, subsection 3 says, if the property ordered to be attached is a debt, how that attachment is to be made? Property or attached is a debt or movable property. Some debt means some debt that is to be recovered by the person who is to be arrested. Debt or other movable property. So how that attachment will be made? That attachment will be made by actual seizure. Seizure means taking into custody. Seizure, that is taking into possession. Or by appointment of a receiver. Second, that attachment may be made so far as debt and movable properties are concerned. It will be made by seizure or by appointment a receiver. That means that property will be given in the custody of another person. You will be third, or by order in writing prohibiting the delivery of such property to the proclaimed person. Order by writing that such property will not be delivered to the proclaimed person or to anyone on his behalf, or by all or any two of such methods as the court thinks fit. The court thinks that is all in three ways, or by any two of the two modes are to be followed. The attached is movable property or debt. Then how that attachment will be made? In two ways or in all ways. That is actual seizure and appointment receiver, or by order in writing prohibiting that person, prohibiting delivery of that debt, delivery of that movable property, that proclaimed person. Such attachment will be made by following all the above procedure or by any of the two procedure. Now subsection 4 says, if the property ordered to be actually immovable property, if it is immovable property, but it is a land revenue paid, revenue is payable in respect of that land, then such attachment order will be sent to the collector. Only when that land is revenue payable land. What it says? If the property ordered to be attached is immovable, the attachment order on this section shall, in the case of land paying revenue to the state, if land revenue is paid to the state in respect of, be made through the collector of the district. So if it is a land and that land is revenue payable land, then such attachment is to be made through the collector of the district in which the land is situated. And in all other cases means when that land is not revenue payable land. Suppose it is a house, revenue is not paid. In such case, how will it be made? By taking possession of that house. If it is not a revenue payable land, by taking possession of that land, by the appointment of a receiver, or by order in writing, prohibiting the payment of rent. It is a house. By order in writing, prohibiting the payment of rent on delivery of property to the proclaimed person. Rent on delivery property, that property in respect of that to the proclaimed person or to anyone on his behalf, or by all or any of two of such methods as the court thinks fit. Two ways, any of them. So land revenue payable, so attachment will be made through collector, through the collector. But if it is a land or is a house in respect of which no land revenue is payable, then in such case, such attachment will be made by taking possession of that land or house, by appointing a receiver, or prohibiting payment of land revenue, this rent to that proclaimed person, or to any other person on his behalf. Or either such attachment may be made either by following all three modes or minimum two modes will be followed. If the property ordered to be attached consists of livestock, suppose what is a cow or a bullock or goats, that is a livestock. Property to be attached is livestock, because property of any kind, either movable or immovable, may be attached. Suppose the property is a livestock, or is of a perishable nature. The property is a perishable nature. The court may, if it thinks it expedient, it is necessary, order immediate sale thereof. So when property to be attached is livestock or perishable goods, so the court may order that the property may be sold. And in such case, the sale proceeds shall abide the order of the court. The powers, duties, and liabilities of the receiver appointed in respect of the attached property will be the same as per the provisions of the Civil Procedure Code. That is Order 40. Now, Section 84 says, once an attachment has been made, after attachment, a third party, he wants to claim that his property, that belongs to his property. That property of him was illegally attached. That property did not belong to the person who is a proclaimed person. So what will happen? Where he will go? This Section 84 provides that once an attachment has been made, any person, if any has right, if any objection to such attachment, he can make a claim that within 6 months from the date of attachment. What it says, if any claim is preferred to or objection made to the attachment, if any claim is made or any objection is made to the attachment, any property attached under subsection 83, section 83, within 6 months from the date of the attachment by any person other than the proclaimed person. Proclaimed person's objection is not to be entertained as per section 84. If any claim is made or any objection is raised to the attachment of the property attached by any person other than the proclaimed person, on the ground that the claimant or objector has an interest in such property. The ground is that the claimant, who is not a proclaimed person, has an interest or claim in such property, and that such interest is not liable to attachment under section. And he also makes a claim that this is my property. This property would not have been attached as per section 83. That is not, such interest is not liable to attachment. The claim or objection shall be inquired into. So when such a claim is made, claim or objections are made, those claim or objections are to be inquired into and may be allowed or disallowed in whole. Either that will be allowed or disallowed, either a part disallowed, part allowing, part disallowed. Provided that any claim preferred or objection made within the period allowed by this section, that is 6 months, may in the event of death of that person, if such a claim has been made, that claim may be continued by his legal representatives. If provided that any claim preferred or objection made within the period allowed by this subsection may, in the event of death of the claimant, if the claimant prior to disposal of that claim, he dies, or then that objector, he dies, be continued by his legal representatives. By his legal heirs, legal representatives may continue that claim. Claims or objection under subsection 1 may be preferred or made in the court by which the order of attachment is issued. Where that claim is to be made, objection is to be made, such claim or objection are to be made in the court as per whose order such an attachment has been made, issued. Or the claim or objection is in respect of property attached under the order endorsed by the district magistrate for another district. Because if the property is situated to be attached is situated outside the district where the court, which the court has issued order attachment, then the endorsement is to be made by the district magistrate of that district. So when, in such case, when there is a claim or objection in respect of the property attached outside the district as per the endorsement of the district magistrate, in such case, such claim is to be made before the chief judicial magistrate of that district. And the chief judicial magistrate may himself decide it or may make over that case to any other judicial magistrate, first class judicial magistrate to decide it. Every such claim or objection shall be inquired into by court in which it is preferred or made. Provided that if it is preferred or made in a court of chief judicial magistrate, if it is made before the chief judicial magistrate, he may make it over for disposal to any magistrate subordinate. So any person aggrieved by the order of the court either rejecting his claim for attached property, any person whose claim or objection has been disallowed in whole or in part, an order under subsection may within period of 1 year, within period from 1 year may institute a suit, from date of institute a suit in the civil courts to establish his rights, which he claims in respect of the property in dispute, but subject to the result of such suit, if any, the order shall be conclusive. Then whatever order will be passed in that judgment will be passed in that suit, then the order of attachment will follow. Now section 85, release, sale and restoration of attached property. So now attachment is made. You are aware, when proclaimed person did not appear, or proclaimed person, it was satisfied, the court was satisfied that the proclaimed person is about to dispose of the property, or to remove the property from the local jurisdiction of the court. In such case, attachment is made simultaneously. Suppose attachment will continue. How long that attachment will continue? So if the proclaimed person appears within the time specified in the proclamation, the court shall make an order releasing the property from the attachment. Suppose thereafter, if the proclaimed person appears in the court within the specified time as provided in the proclamation notice, then the court will release that property from attachment. If the proclaimed person does not appear, suppose the proclaimed person does not appear within the time specified in the proclamation, what will be the consequence? Then in such case, the property under the attachment shall be at the disposal of the state government. That means, if the proclaimed person appears before the court within the specified time, the court will release the attachment of the property attached. But if it doesn't appear within the specified time, then the property will be kept at the disposal of the state government. But it shall not be sold until the expiration of 6 months from the date of the attachment. At least that property will not be sold till a period of 6 months is over from the date of attachment. Or until any claim preferred or objection made under section 82 has been, if any claim or objection has been made by a third party to the attached property, until that objection has been disposed of, under it is subject, or if it is a speedy, subject to the property is subject to speedy and natural decay, our court considers that the sale would be for the benefit of the owner, then in such case the property may be sold, and the court may cause it to be sold whenever it thinks fit. Now further provision is there. Once it is sold, when it is sold? After 6 months. After 6 months, state government's disposal of the property is kept. Then that can be sold after 6 months. Or it is a subject to natural decay, that can be sold. Or court considers that it is to be sold, that can be sold. But if within 2 years from the date of proclamation, publication of the proclamation, that is attachment, any person whose property is or has been at the disposal of the state government under subsection 2, from the date of attachment, whose property is under the disposal of the, thereafter the property, if within 2 years from the date of attachment, whose property is under the disposal of the state government, or whose property has been sold, he appears before the court. He appears before the court, voluntarily appears before the court, or is apprehended, or is arrested. Then, if he satisfies the court that he was not aware of the order of proclamation, he had no knowledge about the order of proclamation, so in such case, the court may restore that property, pass order for refund, for return of that property to that person. This subsection 3 says, if within 2 years from the date of the attachment, any person whose property is or has been at the disposal of the state government under subsection 2 appears voluntarily or is apprehended means arrested, and brought before the court by whose order the property was attached, or the court to which the court is subordinate, even to the superior court, and proves to the satisfaction of such court, and that person proves to the satisfaction of that court that he did not abscond or conceal himself for the purpose of avoiding execution of the warrant. That he is satisfied he did not abscond or conceal himself for the execution of the warrant, and that he had not such notice of the proclamation as to enable him to attend. He had no notice of the proclamation for his appearance within the time specified therein. Such property or of the same has been sold. In such case, the attached property or the property which has been sold, the net proceeds of the sale, or if part only thereof has been sold, if a part of the property has been sold, that the net proceeds of the sale, and the residue of the property, the remaining property, shall, after satisfying thereof all costs incurred in consequence of the attachment, all costs incurred for sale, etc., be delivered to that person. Now, 86 gives a provision Appeal from order rejecting application for restoration of attached property. As per section 85, restoration of attached property will be made if the proclaimed person appears voluntarily or is apprehended and proves that he did not abscond or did not conceal to avoid the execution of the warrant, or he had no knowledge that the court had issued such proclamation requiring him to appear before the court on a particular date, then in such case, the court will restore that property to him. But suppose his petition was rejected. In what? Section 86 says. In such case, that person will prefer an appeal in the court to which ordinarily the appeal lies if a sentence would have been passed. Suppose the judicial magistrate first class, if an appeal sentence is passed, that appeal lies to the session judge. So in such case, the appeal will be preferred before the session judge. So suppose a session judge, that will be high court. So what it says, any person referred to in appeal from an order rejecting application for restoration of attached property, any person referred to in subsection 3 of section 85. Subsection 3 means the person apprehended, if the person appears or is apprehended, who is agreed by the refusal to deliver property or the proceeds of the sale thereof, may appeal to the court, to which appeal ordinarily lie from the sentences of the first mentioned court. Now, second, other rules regarding process. Now a question will come to your mind. When in a summons case, when in a complaint case, in a 1cc case, when the court takes cognizance, whether court will first issue a summons or court will issue warrant. Usually, if it is a bailable offences, then summons are issued. Sometimes also in non-bailable offences, summons are first issued. So, section 87 provides issue of warrant in lieu of or in addition to summons. When summons may be issued, in lieu of summons, court may issue warrant, or simultaneously, while issuing summons, the court has also power to issue a warrant. What if, when? Section 87 you should remember. A court may, in case in which it is empowered by this court to issue a summons for the appearance of any person, court may, in any case in which it has been empowered to issue summons for appearance of any person, issue after recording the reason in writing a warrant for his arrest. What recording a reason? When? Only for recording reason. The court in which the court is empowered to issue summons to a person, usually in 1cc cases, after taking cognizance, the court issues process. That is under section 204 of the CRPC. What it says? The court may, in any case in which it is empowered by this court to issue a summons for the appearance of any person, issue after recording its reason in writing a warrant. After recording the reason, issue a warrant of arrest. If either before the issue of summons or after the issue of summons, either before the issue of summons or after but before the time fixed for his appearance, either before the issue of summons or after the issue of the same, but before the time fixed for the appearance. Suppose summons has been issued, time is fixed for the appearance is not over, but he is not up. So in such case, the court sees reason to believe that he has absconded or will not obey the summons. First, you should understand. Court may issue warrant before the issue of summons. Instead of issuing summons, the court may issue a warrant, or the court has already issued a summons, but before the time fixed for appearance is not over. Court can also issue a warrant by recording the reasons. What recording the reasons? That the court has reason to believe that the person who is to be summoned has absconded or will not obey the summons. Two things. Already summons has been issued, but he has absconded. Court, it is proved to the court. Some report is given to the court. Then the court can also issue a warrant. Even before he the court can issue a warrant for recording the regime by recording a regime in writing that the person has absconded or will not obey the summons. Obey the summons. Second, or if such time he fails to appear and the summons is proved to have been duly served. Suppose a summons has been issued. After receiving summons, that person, the person who has been summoned, he doesn't appear in court in time, duly served in time, admit of his appearing in accordance therewith, and no reasonable excuse is offered for her non-attendance. In two cases, section 87 is a very simple section. Sometimes it creates a confusion. Further, court, you may think that if summons is to be issued, why warrant will be issued? This section 87 empowers the court, that in which case the court is empowered to issue summons, may, in lieu of issuing summons, may issue a warrant if by recording reason the court has reason to believe that the person against whom summons will be issued, he has absconded, or he will not appear the court in obedience to summons. Second, or when summons has been issued to that person, and after receiving summons, that person did not appear the court on the date fixed and did not furnish any reason for its non-attendance. This is section 87. So court can also issue summons warrant in addition to summons or in lieu of summons. That section provides section 87. Issue of warrant in lieu of or in addition to summons. When in lieu of summons the court can issue warrant, the court has reason, court by recording reason is satisfied that the person has absconded or will not attend court in obedience to summons. In such case, the court may, instead of issuing summons, issue a warrant at the first instance. Or even if a summons has been issued prior to the date fixed for appearance, the court is also satisfied that the person has absconded or will not obey the summons, the court can also issue a warrant. Third is, when summons has been issued, after receipt of the summons, if the person he doesn't appear before the court on the date fixed and did not show any reason. Power to take bond for appearance, section 88. When any person for whose appearance or arrest the officer presiding in the court is empowered to issue a summons or warrant. In the presiding officer who is empowered to issue summons or warrant, any person is present in such court. If that person is present, summons has not been issued. When any person for whose appearance or arrest the officer presiding in any court is empowered to issue a summons or warrant, court is empowered to issue a summons or warrant, but such summons or warrant has not been issued, but is present in such court, then such presiding officer may require such person to execute a bond with or without sureties for his appearance in such court or any other court to which the case may be transferred for trial. That is, this is applicable to both to accused as well as to witness. Sometimes a police officer he comes to a court and gives evidence in a particular case. There are other cases pending in which he is a witness. The court is also empowered to issue summons to that police officer for giving evidence in other cases. The court may also, when he is present in the court may take bond from him, from that police officer for his appearance in other cases. This section 88, what power to take bond for appearance? When any person, not accused, when any person for whose appearance or arrest that is, arrest the officer, presiding officer in any court is empowered to issue a summons or warrant, is present in such court, such officer may require such person to execute a bond with or without surety for his appearance in court or in any other court to which the case may be transferred. In other case, suppose one accused, there are three cases. In one case he is present or he has been arrested. In such case, in other cases, he is required. The court can also take bond from that person for appearance in other cases. Section 89, arrest on breach of bond for appearance, where any person who is bound by any bond taken under this code to appear before a court does not appear. If a person who furnishes a bond to appear in court, it does not appear in the court. The officer presiding in such court, that the presiding officer, may issue a warrant directly that such person be arrested. If a person executes a bond, but it doesn't appear before the court as per the terms and conditions of the bond, then the presiding officer may issue a warrant for his arrest. Provisions of this chapter generally applicable to summonses and warrants of arrest. Section 90 makes you clear that the provisions contained in this chapter, that is chapter 6, relating to summons and warrants and their issue, service and execution. Summons, warrant, issue, service and execution shall, so far as may be, apply to every summons and every warrant of arrest issued under the court. So both to witness summons, accused summons, every warrant, every summons, these provisions will be applicable. Now, section 91 is very important. That the chapter 7 says, processes to compel the production of things. Till now we are discussing process for compelling the appearance of a person before the court. Now, this chapter 7 says, deals process to compel the production of things. Sometimes during investigation or trial, some production of a thing or document is required. In such case, the court or the police may issue a process, issue order in writing, directing that person to produce a thing or document which is required for the purpose of investigation or inquiry or trial. This provision is there in section 91. What it says? Summons to produce document or other things. Whenever any court means from the court of judicial magistrate second class up to the high court, whenever any court or any officer in charge of police station, two power, that the officer in charge, not investigating officer, any court or any officer in a police station considers that the production of any document or other thing is necessary. Considers. Who considers? Any court or officer in charge of police station considers that the production of a document or thing is necessary or desirable. What for? For the purpose of an investigation, inquiry, trial, or other proceeding. Who considers? That any court or officer in charge of police station considers. What it considers? That the production of a thing or a document, either a thing, a material object, or a document, is necessary or expedient or desirable. Necessary or desirable. Necessary is expedient or desirable, it required for the purpose of investigation. What is investigation? All proceedings by the police officer collecting evidence is called investigation. For the purpose of investigation, other than investigation is inquiry, all proceedings before the magistrate, that is inquiry, other than trial. For the purpose of investigation, inquiry, trial, or other proceeding under this code, by or before such court officer, such court may issue a summons. Either such court may issue a summons, or such officer may retain order. Police officer will never issue a summons. Summons must be in writing, in duplicate, etc. But such a police officer may issue a written order to the person whose possession or power such document or thing is believed to be. Such court will issue a summons, or such officer will issue a written order to whom? Under whose possession such document or thing is believed to be, requiring him to attend and produce it, requiring that person to appear before him, attend before him, and to produce that document or thing, or produce it at the time and place stated in the summons order. In the order that to produce that thing or document at the time and place as mentioned in the summons or order. So now subsection 2 says, any person required under this section merely to produce a document or other thing. Suppose a person has been asked by the court or by officers in charge of a police station to produce a thing or a document, either by the summons or order in writing, is deemed to have complied with the requisition if he causes such document or thing to be produced. He did not come to the court or to the police station personally. If causes that thing or document to be produced, that will be sufficient compliance of the order. That is, instead of attending personally to produce this. Now, nothing in this section shall be deemed to affect the section 123, that is affairs of state, unpublished official communication, that is section 124 of the Evidence Act. 123 official communication, 124 unpublished public communication made to unpublished public official document. Such document will not be produced. Second, to apply to a letter, postcard, telegram or other documents, letter, postcard, telegram or other documents, or any parcel or thing in the custody of the postal or telegraph authority. So any court or officer may issue summons, officer of the police station may pass order in writing requiring a person to produce thing or document before him for the purpose of that it is desirable and necessary for the purpose of investigation. So nothing in this section will apply for production of any letter, parcel, postal articles, telegram, other thing, custody or the postal or telegraph authority. Then section 92 says, when postal documents are to be produced, such order will be passed by the district magistrate, chief judicial magistrate, or session judge or high court. The judicial magistrate first class police officer has no power to require the postal authority to produce the postal documents. If such a document is required, then he may only inform that postal authority to keep it for obtaining order from the district magistrate or from chief judicial magistrate or session judge for production of that thing. Now section 92 says, if any document, parcel or thing in the custody of a postal or telegraph authority is in the opinion of the district magistrate, chief judicial magistrate, court of sessions or high court, if a document or any postal article which is in the opinion of the district magistrate, chief judicial magistrate, court of sessions or the high court wanted for the purpose of an investigation, it is opinion that document is required for the purpose of investigation, inquiry, trial, other proceeding under this code. Such magistrate court may require, such magistrate means district magistrate, chief judicial magistrate or sessions court or high court may require the postal or telegraph authority as the case may be to deliver the document, parcel or thing to such person as the magistrate or the court, district magistrate, chief judicial magistrate, sessions of the high court may direct the postal authority to deliver that document for the purpose of investigation either to the officer in charge of police station or to produce it before any other court. So if any such document, parcel or thing is in the opinion of any other magistrate, whether executive, judicial or of the commissioner of police or district magistrate of police wanted for any such purpose, suppose such document, parcel means postal document, parcel or thing, in the opinion of the other magistrate other than district magistrate or chief judicial, whether executive or judicial, or of any commissioner of police. Suppose a commissioner of police requires that a postal document be produced for the purpose of investigation, or district superintendent of police. Suppose district superintendent of police has no power, only district magistrate, chief judicial magistrate, sessions judge, high court. District superintendent of police wanted for any such purpose, he may require the postal or telegraph authority, as the case may be, to cause search to be made for and to detain such document. That a postal authority may be directed to search and detain such document, parcel or thing, pending the order of the district magistrate, chief judicial magistrate, or court under subsection 1. Section 93. Most of the time a question comes, direct question comes. When the court can issue a search warrant. Direct question in most of the competitive examinations, such a question is put. When the court will issue a search warrant. So you should know the provisions in section 93 when search warrant may be issued. What it provides? When any court has reason to believe that a person to whom a summons or order under section 91 or requisition under section 90, subsection 1 of section 92 has been or might be addressed, court has reason to believe that a person to whom a summons or order has been issued or might be issued as per section 91. 91 means someone to produce thing or order to produce thing by any court or officer in charge of police station. Section 92, production of a thing, postal document by postal authority. Where any court has reason to believe that a person to whom a summons or order under subsection 1 or requisition under subsection 1 of section 92 has been or might be addressed will not or would not produce the document. Court has reason to believe that in spite of issue of summons by any court, that document will not be produced, that thing will not be produced, or in spite of issue of direction by the district magistrate, chief judicial magistrate, the document or postal document will not be produced. The document thing as required by such summons or requisition, first will not be produced, it can issue a search warrant, or where such document or thing is not known to the court to be in possession of any person. Second requisition. First, when search warrant will be issued. Where any court has reason to believe that in spite of issue of summons or production of a thing or document, that person will not produce. In spite of issue of a direction, the postal authority will not produce. Second, where such document or thing is not known to the court in possession of any person. The court doesn't know under whose possession that document or thing is. Third, where the court considered that the purpose of inquiry, trial or other proceeding under this code will be served by a general search or inspection. It is very, very loosely this provision is used, and accordingly search warrant is issued. Whenever court considers that the purpose of an inquiry, trial or other proceeding will be served by a general search or inspection. Court considers that the purpose of inquiry, trial or other proceeding under the criminal procedure code will be served by a general search or inspection, then it may issue a search warrant in three circumstances. First, the court has reason to believe that the person, in spite of issuing summons, will not produce a thing or document. Second, it is not known to the court under whose possession that document or thing is. Third, when the court considers that the purpose of any inquiry, trial or other proceeding under the code will be sought by general search and inspection. Consider the purpose of an inquiry, trial or other proceeding will be sought by general search or inspection. It may issue a search warrant, and the person to whom such warrant as direct may search or inspect in accordance therewith and the provisions hereinafter contained. So once such search warrant is issued, then that person will make search, inspect accordance with the search warrant and as per the provisions hereinafter provided. After such this provision, what procedure will be followed at the time of search, those procedure will be followed. So if I put a question to you, when the court will issue a search warrant? First, section 93 provides, when the court has reason to believe that the person against whom a summons has been issued the production of a thing or document as per section 91 or 92 will not produce that thing. Second, when it is not known to the court under whose possession that document or thing is. Third, when the court has reason to, court considers that the purposes of any inquiry, trial or other proceeding, court consider that the purposes of any inquiry, trial or other proceeding will be solved by general search then the court may issue a search. You should remember, because most of the time such a question is put, when court will issue a search? When the court considers that the purposes of any inquiry, trial or other proceeding will be solved by general search or inspection. General search is general, there will be search. So usually search warrant is issued by the concerned court in most of the disproportionate asset cases. Now here the vigilance police takes a search warrant from the court for conducting general search. The court considers that the purposes of any inquiry, trial or other investigation, inquiry, trial or other proceeding, what under this code will be solved. So before conducting search, that is an inquiry of a general search of the inspection. In case that court will issue a search warrant, and on basis of search warrant, that search and inspection will be done, and as per the court may, if it thinks fit, specify in the warrant the particular place or part thereof for which only the search or inspection shall extend. While issuing a search warrant, the court may, in the search warrant, may mention the particular place or part thereof to which only the search or inspection shall be extended. With a particular room, particular place, only to which the search extend, and the person charged with the execution of search warrant shall then search for inspect only the place or part of so specified. If in the court search warrant, it has been mentioned a particular part of the house, a particular place is to be searched, then the person who is executing that search warrant will conduct search only to that place. Third, nothing contained in this section shall authorize any magistrate other than the district magistrate or chief judicial magistrate to grant a warrant to search for a document or parcel or other thing in the custody of the postal or telegraph authority. Now a third restriction, the 92, again it has been reiterated, nothing contained in this section, though the court is empowered to issue search warrant when it considers that the person whom summons will be issued or order will be issued, he will not produce a thing or document as required as per section 91 or 92 of the Criminal Procedure Code. Still such a power is not given to any other magistrate, other than the district magistrate, chief judicial magistrate, to grant a warrant to search for a document, parcel or other things in the custody of the postal or telegraph authority. Let us conclude. In the next class, we will discuss search a place suspected to contain stolen property, false document, etc. Thank you.